Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Twisted TV video episode thing. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I've been binging The Walking Dead so hard to get ready for season 6, and I made it, you guys. Barely. I finished season 5 I think 2 days before season 6 dropped. So I'm going to, instead of doing the Twisted TV videos every single week, I think I'm going to do them every other week, so that way I have a little more to talk about, and I'm not gonna recap each episode because hopefully you guys are watching along with me. I'm more just gonna kind of give my impressions on the episode, and out of the shows I'm watching, which one, for those 2 weeks, which one I thought did the best job in that week, which one I think did the worst job, what had the best scenes, stuff like that, you know what I mean? I mean, this video is gonna be a good example of what the format is gonna be like for these videos. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below, or if you have any suggestions for making these videos better, because horror TV is such a big thing now. I don't want to not talk about horror TV, so I'm just trying to find the best way to do that, you know what I mean? And I watch so many shows, so I don't really want to just pick one to go over every week. That's boring. So as most of these horror television series have started, I think the only one I'm waiting on to start is Ash vs. the Evil Dead, and that doesn't start until Halloween, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It starts on Halloween. So I can't talk about that one yet, but I will once it comes out. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just give my first impressions of 3 horror television shows so far, based on what's been out already. I'm gonna talk about Scream Queens, American Horror Story, and The Walking Dead. The only kind of weird thing that'll, that's gonna kind of make it uneven, I guess, is Scream Queens started earlier, so we're already on 3 episodes, I think. Yeah, we're already on 3 episodes that I've watched, and whereas American Horror Story and The Walking Dead, we only have 1 so far for this season. That's okay. I'm just gonna give my first impressions of each one. Yeah, so I guess we'll start with Scream Queens. My first impressions of that one is it's hilarious. I think it's really, really funny. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous almost to the extent of the scary movies, you know what I'm talking about? Anna Faris, those ones, like those parody type movies. It's almost that ridiculous to that extent, and it's very much making fun of the social media obsessed generation, kind of like how the Scream TV series did, but Scream Queens takes it to another level of ridiculousness. I find it really funny. I think it's kind of that brand of humor though, that you're either gonna find it hilarious or you're just gonna find it really stupid. So I think this one could be a hit or miss with some people. So that was kind of my first impression of Scream Queens. I think, kind of prediction, I guess, I think I'm really going to enjoy it. I'm not sure. I kind of purposefully didn't really read up much on what the series is gonna be like as a whole. So I don't know. I know it's from the same team basically that created American Horror Story and Glee. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be like American Horror Story where every season it's a different story. If it's not, I'm not sure how they're gonna carry this on for more than 1 season, but I think I'm gonna enjoy this season at least. I think I'm really gonna enjoy it. The Walking Dead, which, as the day I'm filming this, I watched the first episode yesterday. When it premiered, I watched it yesterday or last night. So my first impressions of that one, kind of classic Walking Dead style, where I think they've pretty much set up this big event that's gonna take like half of the season to resolve. It goes back and forth. At least this first episode was going back and forth, flashback and then present, where they're carrying out an idea of Rick's to rid Alexandria of all these walkers that have been trapped in like this canyon or whatever. They're trapped, but they're slowly kind of getting out, and you know, should the blockades break, there's like hordes of, there's gonna be a horde upon them, like hundreds of zombies upon them. So they're kind of carrying out this plan of Rick's to lead the zombies away from the town and therefore make Alexandria safer. So in the present day in the episode, they're carrying out this plan, and then in the flashbacks, it's kind of like leading up to the plan, to Rick's plan. And we kind of see Rick's group of survivors and the Alexandria group, who is not as hardened, kind of clashing, because the Alexandria group, they've kind of been coddled, I guess, living in that community. They haven't had to survive in the same sense that Rick and his group have. So they're kind of clashing in the flashbacks. And then it ends with a pretty classic holy shit moment. I'm not gonna spoil it if you haven't watched it, if you haven't seen it yet, but it ends in a big holy shit moment, which I think, at least based on the size of this is gonna take a couple of episodes to resolve. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen and how they're going to control this. I predict a lot of deaths. Predictions, I guess. I'm interested to see whether this is gonna, like, whether they're gonna be able to fortify Alexandria and stay there for some period of time, or if it's gonna be another kind of like failure. All the sanctuaries or safe zones they've been to have all turned out to be like, they've either had like, it's either been like sinister and a trap to lead people into there, you know what I mean? It's either been like a trap, or it's just not lasted very long before all hell breaks loose. So I'm interested to see whether, after what happened at the end of the first episode, I'm interested to see whether they're gonna be able to like solve this problem that's happened and stay there, or if they're gonna have to move on again. I'm gonna be kind of sad if they have to keep moving on. Like, it's just getting kind of hopeless. There's just this like underlying hopelessness here that there's no safe place. So we'll see how that goes. And finally, American Horror Story Hotel, which I think, out of, if I'm honest, just based on what I've seen and heard, out of these three shows, this one has had the most hype and the most excitement for it to start. And I was kind of, I don't want to say disappointed by the first episode. I just think, just looking at the past first episodes of each American Horror Story season, I think this one was the weakest, which is saying a lot when we're talking about American Horror Story, because a lot of fucked up shit happens in this episode, but compared to other previous episodes, I think it's pretty weak. And I think by the end of it, I'm not, like, I'm just going based off of my feelings. Like, when you watch the first episode of a new season, like, they set it up in such a way that it, I mean, at least to me, I've gotten like super hyped for the season. Like, I'm just like, oh man, here we go. Like, especially the first one and season 3, Coven, I've just gotten like the first episode just sets it up so well. This one, I'm not as excited. I was really excited when I heard the theme. It was gonna be hotel. I knew we were gonna have like some Shining references, which very first episode, you see the carpet in that hotel and it's a giant, a giant Shining reference. And I'm hoping we're gonna get like some H.H. Holmes, you know, references in there. But I don't know, I was really excited for it, and that first episode has kind of just taken it down a notch. So I'm hoping in the next couple of episodes my excitement builds back up. I think it's just because they introduced a lot of things in this first episode, which is not uncommon. They always introduce a lot of characters. Pretty much most of the characters they introduce in the first episode. But I guess I just really don't understand what's going on yet, so maybe that's why I found it a little bit confusing. So we'll see. Just based on the first episode, kind of my prediction for the rest of the season, I don't know. I think this one might be a miss for me. We'll see. We'll see though. It's only the first episode, so they can redeem themselves. So out of these 3 shows so far, I think the loser, in my opinion, is American Horror Story right now. It was just like, I don't know. It was just, like I said, it was just weak compared to other American Horror Story episodes I've seen. It's just a little bit weak. I was expecting a little more, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else I was expecting, but it just wasn't there. The winner I'm gonna name so far is Scream Queens, just because the comedy is right on for me. It's just, it's there. I love the ridiculousness. I think they blended the comedy and the horror really well. And slashers, like, this is a slasher TV show. I think this is the right way to do a slasher TV show. The Scream TV series, I think, was kind of the wrong way to do it almost, and Scream Queens is the right way to do it. I think you have to have a little more comedy in there to make it watchable. And slashers kind of lend themselves to comedy a little bit more, I think, anyway. So I think they did that really well. So they're the winner this week in my book. And the best moment out of all 3 shows so far, the ones I watched, I think my favorite moment, spoiler alert if you haven't watched the first episode of The Walking Dead yet, Carter getting his face bitten off by a zombie. I think that was I think that was my favorite moment out of all the episodes I watched so far, out of all these shows. Carter getting his face bitten off. That was pretty sick. Sick in a disgusting way and sick in an awesome way too. Alright, so I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these TV shows so far, if you've watched any of them. Or if you've watched all of them, let me know what your favorite one is so far, like just based on these first couple of episodes, what your favorite ones are. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. Thank you if you were subscribed already, and until next time, stay strange.